Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I just did this whole vlog and it didn't record for some reason, so I'm trying something else here with that. Let me see. Okay. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what is going on with me. And, you know, this is not Mental Health Awareness Day, but I'm coming to you raw, unedited with this vlog, and, so, as many of you know or don't know, if you may not know, I was admitted into the ER. Well, I was brought to the ER about 10 days ago, and I with what was stroke-like symptoms. And what had happened to me was I was and just bear with me. This is kind of a really hard. This is a twofold video. It's kind of really hard for me to make. And because I just made it, I may not remember everything that was in there before. But you can always comment down below if you have any questions. And I'm getting pretty personal here because part of me feels like don't even make this video because it's nobody's freaking business, to be 100% honest with you. The other part of me is always honest with you guys, and I have ghosted lately, and a lot of you have noticed, and those of you who have noticed and have reached out, I love you to death. I really sincerely do. Those of you that know me personally, I just feel always being transparent and always being honest is 100% the best way to go. Most people, that you watch on YouTube, you never really know them. You don't know what goes on in their personal life. You don't know what goes on, and, or whatever. If they're having a bad day, whatever the deal is. I kind of make it a purpose to, if a subscriber requests to, friend me on Facebook, I do, and that kind of stuff. Because what I do is connect with you guys through Very Vocal Vapers, and hopefully I connect with you through my Beauty and the Vape videos. So, I really feel like you guys are family. You're not subscribers. You're not, you're not people that I take interviews with. You're part of the community that I am a part of also, and we are a Vape fam, and that means more to me than you will ever know. Especially these last couple months. Last couple months have not been good for me. They've not been good for me physically. They've not been good for me mentally. This time of year I know is difficult for a lot of people. I suffer from some mental illnesses, and for me this time of year is very difficult. It gets dark. I don't like the winter. My parents leave for Arizona. My cousin died in November in 2011. Her death date is in December. So, a lot stacks up. And I think, what I wanted to announce was that I Very Vocal Vapers will not be in Dallas. People have been asking me, and I feel really bad because I have not had the courage nor really wanted to admit that it was not happening. So let me just explain to you quickly kind of what happened and the reasoning behind it. Is so about 10 days ago, 11 days ago, I went to the ER. I was sitting in a chat room or whatever, a video chat room with some people, and all of a sudden I had double vision, like up and down. Normally when you have double vision, it's side to side. This is going to be a long vlog, guys, so if you don't want to watch it, I can certainly understand. I just want you to know what's going on, not just with me, but with Very Vocal Vapers and with my Beauty and the Vape channel, and just let you know, and Dallas, and everything like that. And I got double vision, and I freaked out, and I ripped my headset off, and I got up, and I started to go upstairs and get Marin, and then it went away. The double vision went away. I was left with like floaters and everything like that. I was super dizzy and disoriented, and I couldn't really think and everything like that. And I like halfway up the stairs, I said to myself, no, you know what, Chris, he's got to go to work tomorrow. Like, just come back downstairs, sit down, watch some television, chill out, whatever. I think that night I got a total of, you know, an hour sleep. And so, you know, having someone who has panic disorder and stuff like that, you know, it's, I don't know if that took over at that point or what, but I mean, it wasn't only the double vision. Like I said, I could barely walk. It was hard to stand. It was hard to balance myself. I had numbness all along my whole left side. And it was really, really odd, but you know, I think I got like an hour's sleep that night, and I left Laren a note. And so the next morning he got up and he said to me, you know, well, what do you want me to do? And, you know, like, do you want me to go to work or not go to work, or whatever the deal is? And of course, you know, I never want to be a burden on anybody. And so, you know, that was kind of a loaded question. But I said to him, you know, no, you know, go to work. You know, so I said to him, no, go to work. I'll be fine, whatever. And I think he wasn't gone, I think 10 minutes out of the driveway. And I called him back, or I texted him and I said, get back here. I just knew something was not right. So he came back, we went to the ER, and these doctors were amazing. You know, I just want to talk really quickly a little bit about mental health, you know, in general, and kind of related to the vape community, because it's really weird. I don't know if it's just because we're part of a community, but you know, I've learned through being a part of this community, when you deal with mental health issues, you have friends and you have family, right? And some of your friends and family may suffer with mental health issues, and some may not. You know, so they either understand what you're going through or they don't understand what you're going through. But your circle is kind of small. It's not as big as this wonderful thing that we call, you know, vape fam and vape community. So, you know, one of the really cool things about, you know, being a part of Very Vocal Vapers is that, you know, last year in Connecticut, I had these two girls, Angela, I want to say it's like Angela and Angelica, or Angelica and Jasmine. I can't, one of them's Angelica. I know that. I just can't, oh man, it makes me so mad. I can't right now. I can't quite remember their names, but if you go back, you'll see their videos were very, very short, very quick, but they were the cutest little things. And they vaped, and they had never smoked before. And so, you know, I don't condone, for underage people, I certainly don't condone that, you know, obviously. I don't really condone it for, you know, but you can't tell adults what to do. But it was zero nic and everything like that. And they did it for anxiety reasons. And it was the first time that I ever heard anybody say that they did this for anxiety reasons. And I vape a lot. I chain vape a lot. And a lot of it is for anxiety reasons. And they were talking about how they have trouble driving. I have trouble driving. You know, they have trouble, you know, in social situations. I don't really have trouble in social situations. I have trouble getting to social situations, or any situation. You know, getting someplace. Once I'm there, I'm, you know, the old Chris, whatever, you know, sarcastic, rude, crude, whatever. Sassy but never classy. But you know, so they were telling me this, like the whole interview, like I just wanted to like literally get up and cry. Like I want to put my arms around them and just it was crazy. It was like looking in a mirror, although, you know, 20 years earlier. You know, but it really resonated with me, because there's so many people, and when I had posted that I was in the hospital on my Facebook, so many people reached out, and you know, that I've never met. You know, that I've never met in person. Some of them I've never even met, you know, all I know is through Facebook. I've never even had a video chat with them or anything like that, or a phone call or anything. And we're concerned, and we're, you know, wishing me well wishes and everything. And I love you guys. I really, that is one thing that I just absolutely love about this community. So thank you guys that did reach out. I really, really appreciate it. And who have since been checking up on me and everything like that. But basically, so the winter from November until like March, you know, is really not good months for me. You know, normally. I think this was a culmination of a bunch of things. So anyway, when we go to the ER, they think I'm having a stroke, right? So they do a CAT scan and they do an EKG and they, you know, I'm up on heart monitors and they got me, you know, they're putting fluids in me and, you know, they're doing all the, you know, all the push and pull and grab my hand as tight as you can and pricking my feet and, you know, just doing all this stuff and, you know, everything like that. So I ended up getting a CAT scan with the dye, which was not, it was not pleasant. It was the first time I ever had one. So, I mean, I was really freaking out. Like, I was just like, when they say shaking like a leaf, like, I literally was, and you know, like, the doctor's looking at me like, does this normally happen to you? Like, this is just, you know, crazy. And what I loved about this hospital was, you know, normally anybody who deals with mental illness, and especially panic and anxiety issues, you know, you have to give them, they ask you what medications you're on, you know, and as soon as they hear certain medications, right, they're like, oh, do you suffer from yada yada yada? And you're like, yeah. And then they go, oh, okay. And it's like they almost dismiss anything that's going on with you physically, because they're like, oh, it's just that. You know what I mean? These people were like, no, we're gonna, you know, run the whole gamut that we can possibly run, and they did. And they didn't find anything in the CAT scan, so they did the dye and everything, like, which was just, it was fun. It was a blast. It was horrible, but it, you know, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't pleasant. It's not something I like to do on a daily basis, but you know, but it was, yeah, it wasn't that much fun. So, you know, so that came back normal. So they checked my carotids, they checked, you know, my brain and everything like that, and they didn't see any bleeds, they didn't see any, you know, any blockages or anything like that, any tears. Um, so that was good, I guess. I'll tell you why I'm saying I guess, in a minute. So then finally came to me. They did, you know, they did my electrolytes and, you know, my sugars and just, they did a whole bunch of, you know, blood tests and everything like that. And, you know, everything came back, you know, normal as far as that was concerned. But he did say to me that my EKG was abnormal. Now, what was weird was that he said to me that he said, you're, it was kind of hard to explain because obviously I was kind of I was freaked out. You know, you hook up to all these machines and everything like that. I was freaked out. But what he had said to me was, if he goes, we got your EKG from last year. Every year I get an EKG, along with my physical, because I have a history of heart disease in my family. My dad had his first heart attack at 38. So, and his first bypass at 40. So when he came into me and he said, you know, your EKG was abnormal, he goes, but he says, we did get your EKG from your physical last year and it looks exactly the same. He said, so I'm not really that concerned. Like, he goes, I'm not concerned enough to admit you, is what he said. He goes, but you definitely need to follow up with a bunch of doctors. So I was kind of like, he said, if I saw, I think his exact words were, if I saw just, I'm sorry if I'm going in and out of focus, I'm just using my webcam here, guys. If I saw your EKG, just your EKG, and I didn't see the one from last year, I would admit you, but I'd not call this a normal EKG. But when you compare it to last year's, it was exactly the same. Obviously, your PCP doesn't, you know, think it's an issue. So it just could be your normal. You know what I mean? But we don't really know. You know, he's like, I don't know you. You know, I don't know what your history is or anything like that. So he basically, after, you know, 5 or 6 hours, they sent me home. And I cried the whole way home because I had no answers. I mean, you know, and like I tried to, you know, explain to Marin that, you know, when you go through something like that, I mean, you're going through it, you know, and then to not get an answer is like I should have been happy, right? Like most of you guys would have been like, whew, okay, good. That's great. You know what I mean? You're not having a stroke. There's nothing wrong up here in your brain. You know what I mean? Like you're there's no blockages. That's great news. You know, and yes, it was, but the way panic disorders work and anxiety, like you guys know, it's never logical or anything like that. So instead, I'm pissed off and frustrated and upset and crying because you go through the whole symptoms as if you were having a stroke, you know? like total numbness and everything, like, you know, loss of use of my arm and, you know, all this other stuff, as if you're going through it, only for them to say, no, psych, no, you're not, and there's nothing we can do for you. You know, not that anyone wants to have a heart attack and have open heart surgery or have a stroke and have, you know, surgery or whatever the deal is or whatever they would do. It's just, you know, it's just frustrating because, like I said, you still go through it. You still go through it, and then there's no resolution. So he sent me home, and I had told him about. It's gonna drive me crazy. I had told him about Dallas, and I was supposed to try. He said I would not do anything until you follow up with your, you know, PCP and with an ophthalmologist to make sure, you know, you're not, you know, losing your vision, you know, there's not something going on with that, and a cardiologist. So I did see my ophthalmologist or optometrist, which, you know, I had called them and said, can I see you or do I have to see an ophthalmologist? And they said, no, we can look and see, and if we see something, then we would then send you to an ophthalmologist. But, you know, we can look. And they didn't see anything. I have retinal tears on either side of my eyes. Don't know what it's from. Have no idea. But they just showed up one time, and, you know, it could be macular degeneration, you know, just getting older, and your eyes are getting older and everything like that. But, you know, they haven't really changed much from, you know, every 2 years, like when I go to there. But, you know, they didn't see anything. But, you know, since then I have gotten some floaters and stuff like that and everything. I've seen some floaters and everything. And so things have been really rough for me. I really have not done anything. So I've ghosted, and, you know, a lot of people have noticed. And so I want to apologize for that. You know, I really love being a part of this community, and when I am not able to participate, it makes me very upset. So, you know, I had not decided whether or not I was going to go to Dallas. Like, I was just like, you know, for the first, you know, like 5 days, I was just still freaked out because I don't have any answers. So I'm not having a stroke, but I just, you know, had double vision, and I'm dizzy, and I'm, you know, I lost, you know, function on my left side, and, you know, this and that and everything. Like, it was just really, you know, really, really frustrating. And so, you know, I just kind of rested and chilled and ghosted, just because I really don't like to, you know, when I'm not like in a good frame of mind, like, I don't really like to interact with people all that much, just because, you know, I'm sad, and I'm depressed, and I'm frustrated, and I have anxiety, and I don't want to bring people down. I don't want to be a burden. You know, that's not who I am. You know, I'm Chris the fighter who just keeps getting up no matter how many times she gets knocked down, and, you know, I always have a smile on my face, and I'm just gonna, you know, I'm your, you know, sassy but never classy chick. You know, I'm just always trying to crack jokes and, you know, be my old sarcastic self and everything like that. And so when I can't do that, it's frustrating. And like I said, I don't want anybody to feel like they have to act different around me or anything like that. But on the other hand, I really can't give people my full, you know, attention and everything like that. So that's kind of why you guys have not seen me, if you've noticed, you know, or not. I'm probably going to post this to both channels just so people, you know, definitely see it and know what's going on. So, so I went to the ophthalmologist, and they said that, you know, no, we don't see anything. So I was like, okay, eyes checked up, you know, check. Didn't have a stroke, check. You know what I mean? So I really, at that point, it's gonna drive me nuts. Why is it doing that? At that point, it's like, I'm going to Dallas. You know, absolutely. Like, that's just happening, you know, kind of thing. So, okay. So, you know, then because I'm stubborn, as you guys know, I'm stubborn. So I was like, I'm going to Dallas, you know, there's too many people I don't want to disappoint. And, you know, I'm not going to let down, and that's not who I am, and I don't quit, and I don't, you know, do this, and I don't do that, and everything like that. So I called my primary care physician yesterday, yesterday, because I wanted answers as to why this doctor would say this EKG is not normal. Yet you took it last year and it's the same, and we never discussed it. Like, there was never a discussion as to, hey, your EKG is not normal, but this is probably why, or whatever the deal is. I needed answers. Of course, she never got back to me, so that's wonderful. So now I have to call her again tomorrow. I'm glad they're really concerned, because they did get the medical notes from the ER, and I'm glad they're really concerned, like, to even give me a phone call. It just, it's so frustrating. So as I was going to call a cardiologist and just, bypass the PCP, my PCP, and just call a cardiologist, the problem is, looking at cardiologists, I was going to go to my dad's cardiologist because obviously he would know my family history. They don't accept my insurance. Any of the other ones that I've looked at, that were recommended to me don't accept my insurance. So it's kind of hard. So, I may have to see a cardiologist, but I wanted to talk to my PCP first to see, first of all, hey, what the fuck's going on? Like, why did you not tell me any of this? Like, what the fuck? Why didn't we discuss this? Or, and maybe she would have answers. It's just nothing. We never discussed it. So I'm just kind of at a loss here. So I have not yet spoken to her. Today I made the decision that I'm not going to Dallas. So veryvocalvapers will not be in Dallas. I've had people asking me. And up until yesterday I was going. And I feel really, really bad because I feel like I'm disappointing people. I'm disappointing myself. I'm disappointed in myself. I've worked so hard on this show. I've worked so hard getting ready. I've worked so hard. But, I talked to some friends and they were like, if anybody faults you for this, then they can go fuck themselves, basically. They're not your friends. Your health has to come first. And I guess I didn't realize it, but for a long time, I've been running on empty when it comes to veryvocalvapers. It's my passion. It's not going to stop. So I'm just letting you know, it's not stopping. It's probably not even slowing down, even if maybe it should. It can't. It just can't. But really, I'm running. It'll be a year in January that I've been doing this, and the thing is people don't understand because it's now veryvocalvapers. Those of you that know, it was something else, and that didn't work out. And then I picked up the ball and continued. And so I've been a one-woman show. I mean, I've really been a one-woman show this whole time, to be 100%, but it's really not a one-person endeavor. That's the hard thing. And, I've had some wonderful, Angela is just such a wonderful person. She helped me out in Connecticut, and she was going to help me out in Dallas. And I know there's been people who are like, oh, if you're ever at a show and you need help, just let me know. Like, you guys are just so fucking amazing. I love you so much. Like, you have no idea. Like, I can't pay you. I lose money off this. I don't even make money off this. I lose money. I'm in debt because of this. But it's so important. So the only reason I'm able to talk about this today and making this video today is because it's the first day I've been able to. Okay, and the only reason I've been able to make this today is because this has been the first day that, it's actually kind of been a resolution or it's been resolved that I'm definitely not going, because there are still tests that need to be done that I have not been able to get done. And, part of me didn't even want to make this video, but I knew I was going to have to explain at some point. And I really believe in being transparent and honest 100% all the time. I do it on my channel, Beauty and the Vape channel, and I do it in real life. Like, that's just who I am. And, a lot of people would be like, well, fuck it, it's nobody's business. You know what I mean? Like, you don't see Grim Green talking about his issues or, whatever, like, why he didn't upload or why he didn't do this or why he didn't do that. Like, you don't need to give people a fucking explanation, but I feel I do. Transparency and honesty is always, you know, my first priority, and I really feel like, you know, I connect with you guys on a totally different level than, you know, most YouTubers. You know, I just, you guys are genuinely my friends. You're genuinely my family. And so I feel like I do owe an explanation. But I had not accepted that this probably was not going to happen up until today. So, you know, unfortunately, you know, and this vlog's gonna be long, and I apologize, and unedited and whatever. And if you don't care, then, you know, and you don't want to watch it, that's perfectly, I understand. I just wanted you to know what's going on and what's upcoming. So, you know, today I canceled the hotel. I canceled my airfare. You know, the airline. Like I was able to get a waiver. You know, I didn't get my money back, but the airline, Delta is amazing. I don't know about other airlines, but they're amazing. You know, they gave me, you know, tickets for a year. You know, like a waiver, a voucher, whatever that you could use, you know, for a year, credit. So, you know, I'm still out that money. You know, I don't get it back, but still for, you know, a further trip or something, whatever. I canceled the rental car that we were going to have, you know. I called the short guy and told him ship this stuff here, you know, as opposed to the expo center. You know, and, you know, so I think that kind of solidified everything for me, which makes me really sad because it sucks. It sucks. There were so many people, so many of you that I wanted to meet and you know, or meet up with again. And you know, so for those of you that were coming to Dallas and you know, to tell your vape, not just going there to tell your vape story, but we're excited to come and tell your vape story, I deeply apologize. But what I want to say is that you can still tell your vape story. Go to veryvocalvapers.org and book it through Zoom Room, and it will happen. In fact, I just did Foolish's vape story, and you know, with all this going on, I have not been able to edit that one as of yet, but it will be edited and up hopefully, you know, hopefully maybe this weekend, or you know, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. It'll be up soon. But I have a lot of, so that's the crappy part. The crappy part is I will not be in Dallas. And you know, I hope everybody understands. I just cannot with good conscience, not knowing yet what's going on with me, go. You know, God forbid I get out there and something happens, you know. I mean, that's not fair to anybody, you know. Look, I'm still thinking about everybody else but myself. Like, I'm like, that's not fair for the people who I'm with, and you know, I don't want to freak them out, and you know, whatever the deal is, like, okay, you know, but it just doesn't. It's just not. It's going against what everybody is telling me, which is get yourself situated first, figure out what's going on, go to a cardiologist, you know, and figure out what's going on. So it sucks. It sucks. It sucks. I apologize. I would never flake like this. Like, it's not, I shouldn't even call it flaking. It's not flaking. You know, and I guess, you know, a lot of people are like, you know, you don't even need to defend yourself. Like, why are you defending yourself? Like, I'm not defending myself. I feel like I can talk to you guys like this, and that, you know, and that, you know, you deserve to know. You know, I don't want, you know, you guys to show up and be like, well, where is she? You know, kind of thing. Whatever. So, you know, or if you've been trying to get a hold of me and I have not been responding or whatever, that's the reason. You know, this time of year is just horrible for me anyway. Every year it's horrible for me, but I can normally just get through it and everything like that. And, you know, but I think it just all sort of came to a head. It just all sort of, you know, stacked up, because this endeavor is a lot of work, you guys. And again, I'm not looking for sympathy or anything like that, but you know, if you go to an expo and you see, you know, a booth, you very rarely see one person at that booth. You know, even if they're, you know, you're just selling liquids or whatever, like there's at least two people, you know. There's very rarely just one person for the whole, you know, 2 days or whatever, 3 days that you're there. And there's a reason for that, because, you know, it is a lot of work, and it's a lot of preparation. It's a lot of work. And, you know, for what I do, I'm not just selling juice, and if there's nobody at the booth, you know, like, just walk around or whatever. It's like, I don't get a chance to walk around. Like, in Connecticut, people were like, you know, had to like shove a piece of pizza in my face and be like, you know, take 5 minutes, because it was just one vape story after another, after another, after another, after another. It never stopped for 2 whole days. And, you know, so there wasn't really any time to eat or anything like that, you know. So, you know, that's, unfortunately, that really sucks, and I'm really disappointed. I'm, you know, and I'm upset. And it was really hard for me to talk about, and that's why I didn't talk about it. And again, because I'm stubborn, and I had not resigned to the fact that it wasn't going to happen. I was like, no, it'll happen. It's going to happen. I'll make it happen. Like, whatever, who cares? You know, I'll be fine. I'm going to go, you know, against doctor's orders and against whatever. And, you know, it just, you know, hit me last night that, you know, don't be an idiot, you know, don't be stupid. But going forward, so Dallas is not happening. It's not the end of the world. And that's what I have to tell myself, is that, you know, there is, hold on a second, I need a vape. There's going to be plenty more expos, guys. If you cannot tell your vape story, you know, I love the expos in the sense of the one-on-one interaction with the vape stories is so amazing. It's awesome. It's so cool. And so it's just a totally different vibe than when you do it on Zoom. Zoom's great too. Like, you know, I like Zoom because, you know, I can record and do what I need to do, and you still, you know, I still get your stories, they still go to your representatives and everything like that. So, I mean, the job gets done, but, you know, we can just shoot the shit and whatever, which, you know, happens all the time. I keep saying it's 30-minute session, which turns into like 2 hours later, I'm still talking to the person. You know, we're still chatting and getting to know each other and everything, which is really, really cool, which doesn't usually happen at expos. Expos are more kind of, you know, you get like 15-20 minutes with a person, and then, you know, they're gone. So, you know, so they both have their pros, you know. It's really great, but you can still book your vape story. Veryvocalvapers.org, book your story right through the website, and it'll happen. So, please, guys, like, you know, so if you were planning on it and you don't, you know, you couldn't put that on your list, you know. Okay, I was going to do it in Dallas, but now I'm going to do it, you know, through a Zoom room. So that's great. Because it's so important. This really has to continue. This really has to happen. This is you doing your part. And things are so volatile in this industry right now, and it's really, really important. We have like a lot of things coming down, and, you know, flavor bans and this and that and everything, and it's just, I know a lot of people, like, they don't want to talk advocacy because it's tiring. And if you think it's tiring for you guys who are just, you know, hey, I just want to sit and vape, bro, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. But it's tiring for the people, you know, like me and other people, you know, all the other advocacy group. I'm not an advocacy group. I consider myself an advocate, but, you know, but for people who do, you know, this whole side of it, it's super frustrating. It takes a lot of money. And, you know, so I have wonderful sponsors, and they're people that I want to keep in my sponsorship family when I send out proposals or whatever and tell people, hey, this is what I can do for you. You know what I mean? If you sponsor me, this is what I can do for you. You know, I always say I want you to be a part of my sponsorship family. I don't want it to be a one-time thing. I want you to believe in the mission. I want you to believe in me, and I want you to, you know, believe in the people that give their stories and continue, you know, down the road, because it is a sponsorship / advertising, you know, thing. It's like, I'm not just looking for a sponsorship. You give me your sponsorship, thank you for your money, and I do nothing in return for you. You know, if you go to veryvocalvapers.org, listen to the intro. It's a little long, but listen to it. It explains the sponsorship tiers and all that other stuff. So if you guys know of companies, please send them my way. info@veryvocalvapers.com is the email, or they can, you know, if they have me on Facebook or you want to direct them to me on Facebook, you can do that. You know, and hopefully we can get a working relationship going. So, you know, I kind of had to say to myself, okay, so Dallas is not happening. It sucks. But you're going to get your shit together and you're going to figure out what's wrong with you and, you know, that kind of thing, and get that all cleared. It gives me an opportunity to go back to reviewing. I'm going to go back to reviewing. And I'm really excited about it because I have my first piece of hardware coming that was sent to me for review, and I'm really excited because I have not done a hardware review. And I'm going to do it my way, you know, Chris's way, which is not going to be like anybody else's way. You know, I'm not going to, you know, break it all apart and do the uppy closey and all that other stuff. I'm just going to, you know, I'm going to give you my opinion on it, my pros, my cons, you know, that kind of thing after I've spent a little time with it. And, you know, but I'm really excited, really excited. And I'm looking forward to getting back to my juice reviews because you know, that's really my bread and butter. Like, I make money. I don't make money, but you know, that's my thing. I love it. You know, because to me, a device is a device. Like, you know, a device powers, you know, it brings the power and everything like that. But if you don't have a good juice in there, like, it's, you know, it's just, that's what makes it fun for me, is the different juices and the different flavors and everything like that, and finding flavors that you're like, oh my god, this is so good, you know, that kind of thing. Like right now, what am I vaping on? Where is it? Oh, here it is. So one of my sponsors, I am vaping on, this is from Cream Vapory. It's oh, I forgot, I don't have the autofocus on it, but it's Boardroom Vapor. They have 4 lines. This is all in favor. It's a pistachio butterscotch, and it's so good, and it's leaking. So Chris, just lick the bottle. Okay, I will. Like, lick the beater. For some reason, I hate glass bottles, but they are, the Cream team, I like, really, I call them the Cream team, but I really, Kyle and AJ and his wife Andrea, like, I really consider them family. I love them to death. I mean, I'm gonna miss seeing them. You know, Chris and Bill from Mayhem. You know, Dawn, my gold sponsor from Adore E-Liquid. God, you guys, if you have not checked out Adore E-Liquid, her link is below. If you're on the Very Vocal Vapers page, or video page, YouTube page, you can go to Very Vocal Vapers and, you know, adoreeliquid.com. Just check her out. She gives so much to this community. And, you know, Murph from Half Moon Mods, you know, such an amazing guy. Like, I've met so many great people that, you know, he's my silver sponsor, and, you know, but without the sponsorships, this can't continue. I can't, you know, I don't make money. Okay. The money that I get goes to the shirts, and that's basically it. You know, I don't get a lot of money, and it goes to the shirts to give out to you guys who tell your vape stories at the expos. And, you know, I have to pay, my credit card pays for flight and hotel. My credit card pays for shipping, you know, items to the expos. My credit card pays for food. My credit card pays for, you know, and at some point your credit card gets maxed out. And at that point, what do you do? So sponsorship is so important. So yeah, you know, anybody interested, just please hit me up. You know, if you're watching this on the Very Vocal Vapers YouTube, all of my information is down below, where you can, you know, reach me, if you'd like to work together, because I would really, like I said, and I want you guys to become part of my sponsorship family. The sponsors that I have now have been with me, besides Murph, who is my newest sponsor. You know, but most of the sponsorships have been with me from the beginning. I've been doing this since January, and it's coming up a year in January, and, you know, it's really weird. But, you know, to think that, because it's just like, whoa, you know, like, oh my God. But, you know, so I know I'm just like rambling at this point, and I apologize, but so next year, what do we have planned for next year? So let's talk about next year. Next year, I already have 3 shows with Envy booked. Talked to Mike Wittenberg the other day. Amazing guy. Love him to death. And Connecticut in March. Then I believe Alabama. And then Virginia. So Very Vocal Vapers will be at those 3 places. In April, we will be in Ohio at um, Midwest Vape Expo with Dustin Griffin, great, amazing guy. Puts on a great show. I went down there last year. I didn't have a booth, but I went down there, and a great show. That's already booked. And I believe I'm gonna do with Michael Berry West Coast Vape Expo in Washington. Michael is also just an amazing guy. Huge advocacy. Huge for advocacy. If you guys get a chance, I posted on the Very Vocal Vapers Facebook page a video of him talking about advocacy. I was in the chat. It was a live Facebook thing, and I know a lot of people don't like to watch advocacy. I think it was almost an hour long, which this vlog will probably be. But it's so freaking important, you guys. The people like me and the people, Stefan and Dimitri and anybody who's in the advocacy organizations, they work really hard for the community, for the industry, and it's not free. Like, you can't do it for free. And so that's why sponsorship packages are needed and donations are needed and that kind of stuff. I mean, all of this stuff costs money to fight for our rights, to keep vaping, to keep doing this. And it's just, it's a full-time job. And would you ask anybody to work for free? Like, would you for burgers at McDonald's for free? Like, no, you wouldn't. And so it's just, everything costs money. But anyway, so we have at least 5 shows already scheduled for next year. And I kind of thought to myself, you know what, Chris, this gives you 4 to 5 months to really plan, really organize, really figure it out, really up the ante. I'm going to be partnering with some people, hopefully for all these shows, and I'm really super excited about it. I'm not going to reveal who they are, but I'm really super. They're people that in the industry that I really admire, and we're kind of going to just be, a team, and do this together, hand in hand kind of thing, so, once all that is in order, and definite and planned and everything like that, I will keep you guys up to date, but I can't right now. I can't tell you. Shh, I can't tell you. So yeah, I guess that's it. I can't think right now if there's anything else. Just please, guys, again, book your vape stories, veryvocalvapers.org. Book your vape stories. I can't wait to, I'm sad that I'm not going to be able to take them in Dallas, but I can still take them. So please book your vape stories. If you were planning on telling your vape story in Dallas, just book it. Book it for, when you're going to be home, and we can do it through a Zoom room, and it'll be just as good, if not even better, because I actually have more time to talk to each individual person through a Zoom room, which I'm finding, like, I try to book it for 30 minutes, and then I end up talking to the person for 2 hours. So, like, it's just, it's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. And then you guys are doing your part, and it's greatly appreciated. Again, without you guys, this would not happen. Without the sponsors. If you guys know of anybody, or you want to sponsor, or you have companies that you think would be good sponsors, reach out to them. Let them know about the website. Tell them to check it out. Tell them a little bit about what I do, and the basis of uniting the vape community, and getting the vape stories out there to representatives and everything like that. And because I really would love to build a really big strong sponsorship family. And I call it family because I want everyone to stick together. I don't want it just to be a one-time one-time thing. And that's why most of my sponsors that I've had from day one, and they're all amazing. I love them all, whether they're bronze sponsors or they're gold sponsors. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Again, I hope you guys understand. But reviews on Beauty and the Vape will be coming back. The only thing that will probably not be happening is the live shows, guys. It's me being on all the live shows. I just am not in that headspace right now to really do that. I feel so bad. You know, I want to shout out Lefa Vapes too, because, you know, if you have not checked out his channel, please check it out. Lefa Vapes. Lifa Vapes. He has been so supportive, and he always sends me, you know, what do you call it? He always sends me invitations to every single live show that he's a part of or whatever. And I'm like, no, nope, can't do it. You know, like I'll be in the chat and he's like, you know, I sent you a request. You know, he'll call me out. I'm like, sorry, I can't do it. You know, I'm just not in that headspace. You know, I love the live shows and everything like that, but I really need to de-stress, concentrate on, you know, what I'm doing and my health and all that other stuff. So, you know, for those of you, just please know that, you know, that I have not reached out to, or you haven't heard from me or whatever. It's not you. It's me. So I hope you guys understand from this video what's going on. I love you guys so much. And I will see you on the YouTubes very soon. So, I'm excited. I'm excited, to be reviewing again, and I'm excited for what veryvocalvapers has coming up next year. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for all your support. I'll talk to you next time.